So I have ENTP preferences, and there are millions of ENTPs on the planet, and we're all doing something kind of different because we're not the same person. And so all of us are doing, like, some ENTPs are literal scientific inventors, and some ENTPs are CEOs, and some ENTPs are stay-at-home moms, and some ENTPs are podcasters, and some ENTPs are, like, name a million different ways that this can roll out, and ENTPs are all over the place, right? Some of them are fry cooks.
Some are good people.
Some of them are
I'm
even
kidding.
good
That
people.
was, again, a joke.
It's better to not say you're sorry. All right, just if you're gonna pick on ENTPs, just land it.
I know, but then all the FJs are like, oh, don't pick on them.
Don't pick on the ENTPs. They don't have the resources to be able to deal with it.
Anyway, continue your point.
So, thank you. So there's all these different ENTPs.
Yes.
Right? We're all going to go, am I competent and capable, and do people like me? That's going to be our metric, right? That's how we're going to esteem ourselves, or that's going to be an access point to how we're estimating whether or not we're good people, or we're doing the thing we're supposed to be doing. We are probably going to undervalue our intrinsic worth, because that introverted feeling or authenticity is way in our shadow. So we're probably going to go, I have to have, I don't have intrinsic worth, right? I have to have demonstrated worth. Well, then that means ENTPs as a collective are probably not giving themselves the due they should with their worth, right? You get to believe you have worth. You get to just feel that way as long as you're continuing to become more of your manifest self. That said, what is our value? How are we determining our value? And our value is how good of a stay-at-home mom, literal scientific inventor, CEO, fry cook, podcaster. Like how much am I throwing into this? Am I doing a good job here? Am I offering my best? Well, then I'll be able to have a sense of self-value because my usefulness is increasing. This is why, by the way, I think this whole time period of trying to send messages to businesses and to corporations and to whatever, that the concept of quiet quitting. I know the first time I heard quiet quitting, the definition is very different than what I hear now. The first time it was basically go to your job and collect a paycheck and don't do anything, right? That was the first time I heard quiet quitting. Now it's well, I'm just not going to do overtime. I'm like, these are two totally different concepts. So which one is it? Not doing overtime is called having boundaries. Sitting there and collecting a paycheck when you're not doing your job, that sounds more like quiet quitting to me. But regardless of whatever it is.
Sure.
I think these messages that people are trying to give to corporations are actually undermining their self-value because it's putting them in situations where they're not giving their best. And so it's undermining their ability to see themselves at their best. And so they're actually hurting themselves. It's much better to actually quit and go someplace where you feel appreciated or whatever your criteria is and give your best so you can see your value, you can see your usefulness, and then have self-value, right? So that's why I think it's important to kind of understand our access point on all of this, but to go, if I don't have self-value, I'm looking at myself as an ENTP. What is the value that ENTPs give, right? What's the, what am I stewarding here? What am I a part of? I'm a part of this group of people that are all stewarding something. So the first thing I think every person should do once they understand their personality type is to go, I'm a part of a collective of people, or a group, not collective, but I'm a part of a group of people that are pre-wired or cognitively wired to give what to the world? What are we supposed to, why am I wired this way? What am I giving to society? What am I doing here? And the answer is, I understand concepts quickly. I pattern very fast.
You yourself, particularly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ENTPs, That's what we got the pattern quick card. All right.
Yep.
It was pick a card, any card. And we grabbed one and it said extroverted intuition or exploration. And it said you pattern very quickly, right? And you collect models and you understand things at a 20,000 foot view very fast and put you in a brainstorming session and off you go. All right. So I picked that one, and then I also picked the introverted thinking or accuracy card, which said, and also you're gonna get a little too pedantic when you explain things to people, and they're not gonna understand what you're saying. But if you get really good at explaining, you can help people understand deeper concepts and understand how they can improve themselves and go on the process of self-improvement and become better versions of themselves. And also you can represent truth and accuracy and transparency in a way where you don't let people off the hook. You don't let them believe whatever they want to in their fantasy land. You remind people that the emperor has no clothes on. All right. So you pattern recognize and you remind people that the emperor has no clothes on, and you shove those two things together, what can you give of high value to the world, right? What is your highest value? And if I'm not giving my highest value at the moment in the timeline in which I'm in, why would I expect to have self-value? Right? Why would I expect to get the magical sense of self-value if I'm not demonstrating it, if I'm not useful in my own way? So to bring it back to self-awareness, self-esteem, I know I'm going to be using introverted thinking, accuracy, and extroverted feeling or harmony. I know I'm going to be using those, right? And they're going to be judging me in certain ways. And I need to make sure that those tools are well calibrated, and I need to make sure that the part of me that is uncertain in that area is reminding me of important things, but I'm not believing it when it makes me insecure. So once I have a lock on that, and I go, okay, I need to be competent, capable. I need to make myself the process, get better, improve, calibrate, become more competent, and give back and give to the world, right? In an extroverted feeling harmony way, and, say things in ways that other people can receive them and build relationships, and, fundamentally don't be too much of a dick. Okay, so that's that part. Self-worth, I'm not going to think I have any worth intrinsically, but I do. And so maybe I need to go find that, right? Even if I have to spend 45 minutes philosophizing about it, I have worth, right? And understand that my sister, who was brain dead, had worth, right? To me. So I probably have worth as well, and rest into that and allow myself to kind of relax and not be like, oh God, do I have worth and value in the world? Rest into that. And then go, am I demonstrating that? Am I giving my value to the world in a way that I and other people can experience it? And then that routes back to going, the potential worth I had before, I am now manifesting that. I am becoming the best version of myself as an ENTP. And there's all these other access points that have nothing to do with type, by the way. But this is just a really handy one to have an on-ramp to higher self-awareness and asking myself how I feel about all these things and asking myself if I'm doing my best. And if I am, I have permission to relax into that and to stop beating myself up.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental premise.